Hi everyone, Scott or the Scott Man. We're here to do a drive video today. We're going to be heading west on 19 Mile Road, which turns into Square Lake Road in Oakland County. So we'll be heading on the entirety of 19 Mile Road today. So it's a pretty nice day out. It's partly sunny, a lot of clouds out, but the sun's appearing quite a bit. So I can't complain too much. And yeah, right now we're going by Chippewa Valley High School. I'm trying to adjust this a little bit better so that way it's not angled as low. But anyway, yeah, it's a little bit of a chilly day out today. The car thermometer is reading 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Convert that to Celsius is around 6 degrees. So if 19 Mile Road is one of the many mile roads which go through the Metro Detroit area. They all pretty much run east and west. Trying to decide which lane to be in. Alright, we can stay in this one. Having to stop at the light here at Garfield, which, matter of fact, I just filmed a video on Garfield Road not too long ago. So it's great to be back at the same intersection again. Yeah, that light lasted a long time, and I didn't have to stop for the entire length of it, too. So as I was saying, we're in Clinton Township right now. This is like the eastern end of 19 Mile Road. And we got the Macomb Hospital off to the right. A little fun fact that one of my nieces was actually born in that hospital. Wasn't part of the Henry Ford health system back then, but yeah, so anyway, so we're on 19 Mile Road. So it began back at Romeo Plank Rd in Clinton Township, which is of course where we are right now, to the northwest of Mount Clemens. And this goes all the way to like Bloomfield Township near like Middlebelt Rd. There is technically a gap in 19 Mile Road, which we'll see several minutes from now, but the gap is not that significant, so we'll just drive around the gap for 19 Mile Road. I do need to get over though this time. And hopefully we're not having to stop at every traffic light, because so far we haven't had to do that. So far we've been stopping at the major lights though, like here at Hayes. So after crossing over Hayes Road, we are now in Sterling Heights. Got some different small businesses over at this intersection. So over here, it's like, it's a 4-lane road, although it's like, what's interesting is you have 2 lanes on the other side of the road, but only 1 on this side. So it's kind of weird how they have it like this, but oh well. I'll be curious if they'll add an extra lane to the right at some point. It's hard to say though. Although it looks like they've added on an extra lane over here. And let's see if this light turns green by the time I get up to it. And the answer is no. Yeah, so far we've been very unlucky with the major traffic lights. But over here is, yeah, primarily like residential neighborhoods, but a lot of areas in Sterling Heights is like that, because like you got all your different smaller businesses. Oh, there's even some over here too. Got some small businesses, even a mug pub. Pizza place in here too. And up here is the light for Shaner Road. And I think, nope, it's gonna be still red. Well, at least that time I didn't have to be stopped for very long, maybe not even 10 seconds. If Shaner Road's a very busy road, because just go up another half a mile or so, you have, well, what used to be Lakeside Mall. Lakeside Mall ended up closing down toward the end of 2024. You still got a lot of shopping areas up there, like a lot of department stores, restaurants, especially chain restaurants and all that stuff, but the Lakeside Mall itself ended up closing down. Yeah, I'm not sure why I haven't had a chance to film this video yet, but that's what we're doing today. And yeah, now that spring is here, it's like the grass is finally turning green. So things are getting a little bit nicer out, and before you know it, all the trees are going to start blooming. So it's nice to see winter finally get out of here. We got snowflakes or snow showers tomorrow in real time as I'm filming this, but it'll be warm enough to where it's not going to really stick or anything. That's how you know it's spring in Michigan, where if you see snow most of the time, it usually doesn't stick, although every once in a blue moon you can get a snowstorm. And this is M53 that we're going under right now. That's the M53 freeway. It's like the freeway bypass of Van Dyke, which stretches from just north of 18 Mile Road, and it goes all the way up to like just shy of 34 Mile Road. Bypasses Utica and Romeo. So here is the temporary end to 19 Mile Road. So 19 Mile Road will pick back up on the other side of the Clinton River. So to bridge the gap, we're going to have to make a right turn here onto Clinton River Road. And then we'll make a left turn onto Riverland Drive, which is this traffic light up ahead. And well, you know, we actually got to turn, or we had a green light back there. So the curse has been broken, but unfortunately it's very short-lived because we're having to stop at this light here. Thankfully it didn't last very long. But yeah, there is a gap in 19 Mile Road because of the Clinton River. In fact, a lot of roads in the area tend to end either at Utica Road on the other side of the river or Clinton River Road on this side because of the river. And Riverland Drive is basically one road which goes across the Clinton River, which we're about to go over at this bridge here. And over here, you got a nice trail system, which you take that to the south along the Clinton River. That'll take it all the way down to Dodge Park, which is a beautiful park here in Sterling Heights. So this kind of serves as a detour for the 19 Mile Road gap. Because yeah, to get back down to where 19 Mile Road picks back up, we only have to go like maybe a third of a mile to the south. So we have to make a left turn here onto Van Dyke and head to the south. Okay, so make a left turn here onto 19 Mile Road. If I were to go the opposite direction on Van Dyke, about 2/3 of a mile, we'll be getting into downtown Utica, and that is very reckless. Anyways, just cross over Utica Road, and the continuation for 19 Mile Road is right up here. There technically is a little small dirt road on the left called Dawn Drive, which goes over to Utica Road. It kind of runs along the same lines of 19 Mile Road, but it's very short. I'm not going to have to worry about filming that. So here is where 19 Mile Road officially picks back up, and it will generally continue the rest of the way. Like, we won't have another gap like what we just experienced. So yeah, over in here you got a lot of different warehouses, office buildings. It's kind of a common thing in the area between Van Dyke and Mound. really seen much in the way of residential areas. And of course, with me filming this on a Sunday, this does not look very lively, but again, it's understandable because it is Sunday. These businesses are generally off. Although I've seen some cars in some of these. Traffic light that we're seeing up ahead is Mound Road. That's a very busy highway, and further south on Mound Road, going down to the southern parts of Sterling Heights and also in Warren, or down to Warren, they recently reconstructed all the traffic lanes on Mound Road, so it's a lot better than it used to be. Yep, so crossing over Mound Road, couple gas stations here. You got a Jimmy John's, Subway, and also a 7-Eleven. This is actually opening up to having an extra lane, which is good because we got someone, well, they were going under the speed limit, but it looks like they sped back up again. But we'll see over here for now. So back on the other side of Mound Road is primarily residential areas, which tends to be the case in all the different mile roads here in Sterling Heights. Everything between Mound and DeQuinder is pretty much like this. But it is nice to be filming some of these different driving videos again, because I kind of, well, I've been uploading every week, but I haven't filmed one in 4 weeks. Just because 3 weekends ago I flew to Mexico City, 2 weekends ago is when I flew back from Mexico City, and last weekend the weather I think was pretty poor, to where I could not really film anything. I think I do have to get back over, because the right lane continues after Ryan Road, but eventually ends, so might as well get over now while I have the ability. So we're crossing over Ryan Road. I got a beautiful church out to the right there. Looks like I think an Orthodox church. And we're back to having this be a 2-lane road again. So it's kind of interesting how you had like that whole divided highway portion back there for only like a mile. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, so I was able to film a couple other driving videos this past weekend too, or not. This is my only one for the day, but I filmed 2 of them yesterday. The weather was not as good yesterday. Thankfully, it was dry, but because it had rained earlier in the day. But thankfully, by the time I got out to do some driving videos yesterday, things got better. Have to deal with rainy conditions. And here we are at DeQuinder. Man, that was horrible. It's like we barely could even make it through the light. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but it's like you cannot have a traffic light that only lasts 10 seconds for a main road like 19 Mile Road. That was ridiculous. And then looking back, it just turned red again. Anyway, gang, as we cross over to DeQuinder Road, so 19 Mile Road becomes Square Lake Road, And we're now in Oakland County, but also we're now in the city of Troy. And cross over to Oakland County, looks like the roads are a lot worse condition. So, looks like it's a lot more bumpy and it's not looking as good. For the mile roads going through Troy, this one is not as heavily traveled because it primarily serves like residential communities, like nothing too major. And here's John R. Road, and thankfully I feel like the city of Troy is almost feeling sorry for me because I had to stop at that light for DeQuinder twice. So I didn't have to stop at this light. I got a bowling alley off to the left there. But yeah, overall, Troy's quite a nice area. I remember doing a driving tour here a long time ago, like several years ago. I need to consider doing some of the driving tours again. Like, the only issue is, I've mentioned this in some of my previous driving videos, that I only have one GoPro battery left, and I can't really order more unless I get a new action camera like this. And the driving tour videos, because they're a lot more comprehensive and a lot longer, I cannot film them with one battery. And then, yeah, I think a few months ago I even tried to order like third-party batteries that are supported for this camera, but they did not work at all. It's like my battery was draining like crazy with the GoPro just being on. So I knew that, yeah, I can only use one battery. So I pretty much have no choice but to get a new camera, which I need to do that in the near future. And we're crossing over Rochester Road. Rochester Road is quite a busy highway, where if you go like 2 or 3 miles to the south, you got a lot of restaurants and stores as you get down toward Big Beaver Road, and then of course go north, they'll take up into Rochester Hills and then eventually downtown Rochester. So it gets really busy once you go to the north. And you have a really nice golf course off to the left there. Yeah, the clouds are definitely rolling in. Like, it was actually pretty sunny when I first started my adventures for the day, but that has quickly changed as the day progressed, or has been progressing. And yeah, coming up ahead, that traffic light's for Livernois Road. I just took off my sunglasses. I gotta put them back on. The sun's coming back out. Because with them on, I was feeling like it was getting dark, but it's like now, so I might just have to keep them on at all times. Yeah, cool. Just turn green. So not a ton going on around here, just a couple small restaurants and small businesses. And yeah, once again we have another divided highway or boulevard coming up here. However, as you'll see, it's only going to last about a mile. However, we do get some corporate offices off to the left for Aptiv. So that's probably why they put this in here, just because of some of the different office complexes that are over here. And we also have Crooks Road up ahead, and this light I think just turned red, so we're gonna be sitting here for a while. So this is Crooks Road. This can be pretty busy here, especially as you go to the south down toward Big Beaver. Of course, Big Beaver and Metro Parkway, that's a very busy highway where you have all kinds of different stuff along that. And up here is where the divided highway ends for Squirrel Lake Road. We're going to be back down to being a two-lane road again. And right now, we are running parallel with I-75. So in the Troy area, I-75 wiggles its way through the area. So this is one stretch where I-75 is heading east and west, despite it being mainly a north and south freeway. And to the right, we got a really nice park here in Troy. That's Firefighters Park. You have like a lot of soccer fields. I'm sure there's like baseball diamonds. There's different like trails you can walk on over there. It's a nice park. And yeah, with I-75 over there, it's nice that they're finally done with the construction on that. They've been done with that for a while, at least a few years now, but it's nice to have all the lanes open. It's like, once again, what's up with these 10-second lights? Although, to be fair, nobody was at the light till just now. At least on the plus side, didn't have to wait for very long. So yeah, the light just turned red again, so I feel like that was only green for like 5 seconds. But there was only one other car behind me, so that might be a light where they might have sensors indicating how many people are sitting at the traffic light or something. And then over here, we're going to be going underneath I-75. This is where I-75 curves to the northwest a little bit before heading more to the north, going up toward Auburn Hills. There's no direct connection with I-75 from Squirrel Lake Road or 19 Mile Road, because we just go right underneath it. However, we're coming to the traffic light for Adams Road, which I remember filming a video on that last year. So from Adams Road, you can get to like northbound I-75 by making a right turn, go under I-75, and then you can make a left and you can get onto I-75 that way. Okay, it's just turned green, so I don't need to stop it or anything. And then technically there is some access from Squirrel Lake Road to I-75, because if you make a right turn here, you can get onto southbound I-75. Just like how southbound 75, you can get off for Adams Road and technically empties out over to Squirrel Lake Road over here. So after we crossed over Adams Road, we are now in Bloomfield Township. I've got the Bowers Academy up to the right there. And the Charles Bowers School Farm. So it's pretty cool how even though we're in the heart of the Metro Detroit suburbs here in Bloomfield Township, they still have a farm over here. So that's pretty cool. So it's like go out to a farm without leaving the city, or technically the suburbs. Just turned green as I went off the air there for a second. So all kinds of different residential neighborhoods. We also have the International Academy as a part of the Bloomfield Hills School District there. And here this is Eastways Road, which is a small secondary road, which will take you down to Long Lake Road, which is 18 Mile Road. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to film 18 Mile Road or Long Lake Road, just because, like how there was a gap with 19 Mile Road, there is a gap with 18 Mile Road as well, and it's a much larger gap. Because 18 Mile Road ends just east of Van Dyke, over at Utica Road, and then it doesn't pick back up at Clinton River Road. It doesn't pick up again until Hayes Road, so there is a significant gap. So it's like 18 Mile Road or Long Lake Road. I don't know if I would film that, or if I did, I probably would have to exclude the small portion of 18 Mile Road that's in Clinton Township. And once again, this is another divided highway. So right here, this is a little interchange with, once again, I-75. And then someone wasn't paying attention. They technically had the right of way, but they were not paying attention. So from there, you can get on to northbound I-75. Well, you go to I-75 northbound or southbound. You get onto the connector ramp for business I-75, which I just filmed business I-75 just yesterday. So there technically is another end to Square Lake Road right here, because this is up Dyke Road. However, to continue on Square Lake Road, it's a lot easier. So make a right turn here to go north on Up Dyke Road. So we go underneath the business I-75 freeway, and we make a right turn over here. Have a nice little connector ramp here. So this over here is business I-75. So looking to the left, that's basically a little freeway connector which will take you over to I-75 to go either north or south on I-75. But going this way, so we merge onto the freeway of business I-75. So this is now the continuation of Square Lake Road, and this is the end of the freeway. So between here and Telegraph Road up ahead, this is the busiest stretch of Square Lake Road. But of course we still got a bunch of residential neighborhoods, but you got a lot more activity coming up at these next couple of traffic lights. And yeah, last year they had resurfaced this stretch here, which is, so yeah, this is very nice. So yeah, we're stopping here at Woodward Avenue. So yeah, it was pretty funny. I was just here yesterday filming the business I-75 video. So business I-75 continues to the right, going north onto Woodward Avenue, going toward Pontiac. Square Lake Road, however, continues west. And yeah, Woodward Avenue, of course, heads south down toward Birmingham, Ferndale, and eventually to downtown Detroit. Need to go ahead and get over to the left lane here. Square Lake Road between Telegraph and the connector ramps to I-75 that we saw about a couple minutes ago. Someone's going, or a couple people are going under the speed limit right now. But anyway, so the stretch here, this is the busiest stretch of Square Lake Road, and it's very busy because this is a connector between I-75 and Telegraph Road. This is a common route people will take to get down toward like Southfield. Oh, he wants over, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back over so I can let him over to the other lane. Or he's gonna be indecisive or something, because it's like, I don't know why he turned on his turn blinker if he's not gonna get over till now, but oh well. But because there's no direct freeway going down to Southfield from this area, so this is what people generally have to take. But this is Franklin Road here, and here is Telegraph Road right here. And I'm surprised I made this traffic light, given how many red lights we've had to stop at. So Telegraph Road, going to the north, there's a lot of shopping up there. Like, you got a Target right there to the right. There's a Costco, there's a PetSmart, Pet Supplies Plus, all kinds of stuff. And also different like restaurants and chain restaurants, things like that. And Square Lake Road now becomes just a 2-lane highway again. And it'll remain this for the remainder of the route. So the rest of Square Lake Road is generally all residential, although there's a nice little golf course off to the left. But yeah, all the homes in this area are very expensive. Like, you got a lot of very high priced homes in this area. But it's nice though, because it's a little bit more hilly compared to what we were seeing back in Troy, Sterling Heights, and Clinton Township. I kept my sunglasses on, because now the sun's starting to come out a little bit stronger now. Yeah, I got some nice curves along in here too. Looks like oh, okay, no, looks like they're remodeling or no, they're not remodeling. That's the Muslim Unity Center. So it's like a mosque over there. Couldn't really see it too well at first. I wasn't sure. It's like, are they remodeling it or something? But no, it's just couldn't see it too well. Few people out walking along the path there. As I was saying earlier, it's a chilly day today, but at least the sun's out, so it does make it a little bit better. Where yesterday was a lot worse because it was overcast. And up there, that is the traffic light for Middlebelt. So technically, Square Lake Road doesn't end at Middlebelt, so we're going to keep going. I'll tell you why after the light turns green. So crossing over Middlebelt Road, and so Square Lake Road now becomes just a residential road here, because it does not continue too much further. Yeah, it's a little bumpy here, but so I just have to go a little slow. That's not too bad though. So not at this street, but the next street is where Square Lake Road officially ends. It goes a little bit past the street after this one, but you can see the end of the road. We're not going to drive all the way to the very, very end, but this will be close enough. So yeah, we have driven the entirety of both stretches of 19 Mile Road and Square Lake Road. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that way you don't miss any future adventures. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott with the Scott Man signing out.